used to that because my father's from Puerto Rico, so we call it Puerto Rican time. Right?
Yeah.
So everybody's late, 30 minutes to an hour late, I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I would probably be pretty chill in Puerto Rico too.
Oh yeah, everybody's chilled, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, let some people start popping in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, Andrea, Kim, Nate.
Hello.
Who's the fancy guy on stage there?
It's Christian.
Oh, Christian?
Yep.
I don't see his name on there.
Hi, Lan.
Hi, happy Tuesday, family.
Yeah.
What's up?
Busy day.
It is.
Couple more days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, trying to close up some deals. I have closing tomorrow, day before Thanksgiving, which is a good thing. So, yeah.
It seems like all Lynn and I are doing these days are extensions. So ours.
Me too. Me too. You know, I was on a call yesterday because this is a new construction. It's residential. The problem is my client is a contractor and she went to school for all kinds of design and she is head of building the prison. That's my client. So I have the commercial mindset in the residential world. And oh my God, it's like this every day, because she's like, the standards here. I'm like, well, they're not the standards over here. So what do you do? So I got to be ethical, got to be kind, and because she knows her stuff, but she don't know the residential side. So what I do is I get on the horn and I get the person who is the salesperson and the superintendents. You need to answer these questions because it got pretty heated up yesterday, man.
Yeah, that crossover. When you bring somebody in that's an expert in their field.
What's that?
I said, when you bring somebody in that's an expert in their field and then they're playing in a different arena.
Even your HVAC guys, or I don't know, just stuff like that, electrical guys. It's just the way it is. Everybody has their own thing. Like, this is not how I do it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, hey, we're excited to have you, Bill. I know we're already 4 minutes past. There's more than double this that have registered that aren't here yet. So I want to wait just another minute.
You can wait.
It's unfortunate, you guys are here on time and I want to get started right away. So we'll just wait just a second and see if we get a couple more log on.
Sure. I'm patient and I blocked the time out. So what I did is on the slide, I can watch the counter, so when it gets to 45, I'll just keep, because I have this handy dandy thing, like click, 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 click. I get it to real.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually have a question for you, Bill, while we're waiting for folks to come in.
Sure.
So the lead that I gave you, and I know it's been a while, and it was like a couple of them wanted to start like an ice cream parlor.
Yes.
I noticed in the Saratoga area, there's some. I know that was something they were looking for. So yes. I just wanted to just throw that out there to you, just in case something might work out with them.
I did reach out to them several times, and in commercial real estate, everybody's busy, it seems like, even clients. I didn't receive any correspondence back at all. So if you want to touch base with them, I would appreciate that. I sent an email to them, no response back.
Okay.
And they're on my agenda, actually.
Yeah, I didn't know if they qualified or didn't qualify, so I didn't know what was happening there. So.
Yeah, follow up and work some magic there, and see what we can do.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Well, hey, Sean, Sherry, Virginia, Dave, those I haven't said hi to yet. There's Andrea. We're going to go ahead and get started. Some people trickling in. I'm still getting notifications. People are getting the link and registering.
Oh, cool.
I've seen Bill before. Bill is now the designated managing broker for EXP Commercial in Utah. So we're pretty excited about that. He's always been my go-to guy for commercial anyway, but now to have him over that division. And we were just talking before y'all kind of jumped in the room here, how cool it is that EXP made EXP Commercial its own entity. So EXP Holdings owns EXP Realty. We all know that. EXP Commercial is a separate entity, and that's an important distinction in the world and in real estate. But the reason Bill's here is to talk a little bit about that and the commercial experience he has. But all of us here that I see on the call, we're residential real estate agents, right? We have not one of us besides Bill on this call has any business dabbling in commercial. It's its own animal. The reason this class was called The Power of Referrals is because we need a network of people that can accentuate our business because they're experts in their arena and we become an extended team. And Bill's just amazing at that. Not only that, I mean, he's like a 7th, 8th degree black belt in karate. He owns Black Dragon Kempo Karate downtown. You've been doing it 40 years or something like that, Bill, right?
Just about, yeah. I'm shy of 8 months, 4 years.
See, that's insane. So on top of commercial real estate, he is like physically a badass too, so.
And let me just say badass that way, but also in commercial. But then he'll take a moment to sit down, explain, teach you, and take the time and not make you feel like a complete idiot. I love that.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
I fell in love with him the first time I talked to him.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, I get it, man. You're one of many and I'm okay with it.
It's okay.
But
it's hard.
It's because of your personality, right? And that's kind of what I was saying. Commercial is a different world. It's a different animal. And let's just say that there's different people involved too, right?
Yeah.
Bill doesn't fall into that category. In my experience through investing and through even when we bought this building, we couldn't even get commercial agents to call us back when we were calling them as a cash buyer wanting to buy a building, and they wouldn't even call us back because they knew we were residential agents and they made assumptions. So Bill's not like that. I think you guys will be really, really comfortable, especially here in Utah. Now you guys in Oregon and spread out, Bill's going to be able to hook you up with somebody in your demographic that's going to be able to help you out. So he's still a good portal for you, even though he's the designated broker here in Utah, and that's where his primary business is. He's got those relationships. So I could go on some more, Bill, but I'm going to turn it over to you and let you get going. And what is here, guys, if you remember, we're going to go about 45 minutes, give or take. We want to make sure all your questions get answered. And then we're going to roll right into kind of an EXP overview and just kind of, we want those that are interested in looking at EXP to know what it's all about. There's no expectations. I know we got a couple people planning on jumping on here that they know a little bit about EXP, but not much. And so Lynn and I and Eric's going to jump in. We're just going to do a brief overview, and that'll be about another 45 minutes, just to kind of, let you guys know what we got going on and
I'm going to make a quick comment on that. Bill, Dave, that's on the call, says he has 20 years experience in commercial. So, Dave, you can connect with Bill and see if there's anything that EXP has to offer you on that side.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, with that, Bill, it's all yours.
All right. Well, let me pull my little slide thing here. Share my screen. Is that up there? Oh, there it is. All right. So can you guys see me can you see me now or not?
Yeah, we all kind of control our own video screen on what we see.
Okay.
So what you see is your own view, but what we see on your slide share is your slide deck, not just the view on its own. So it has your numbered slides down the left side. That's the one we're looking at. Perfect.
Okay. So let me go into from the beginning here. So, this slide on here is, you guys don't know me, but I come from Pennsylvania, Hard Knocks. And I was like, if you ever saw the movie, The Outsiders, that's me. I live just like that, if not worse. So, and you have to believe in yourself. And then of course you can just go up the ladder, man. And I'm proof for that. So anyway, that's why I have it on there. I look at that pretty much every day. So I have a little bit of like little animations in here that my wife hates, but I put them in here because this is something new to me to play with. So I just did that. Anyway. Pretty cool, huh? I just discovered.
I love the curtain reveal.
That funny. So I'm as you know, Jeff and Lynn said there, I'm the commercial designated managing broker for Utah. And look at that little thing flying away. So my name's Dr. Nieves. I have a PhD in philosophy. It's from martial science and the martial arts world for 40 years of service and all that. But that's why you just call me Bill. It's simple. There's my my new email as well as my phone number. You guys can contact me anytime. Like Lynn said, I will answer the phone. I come from your world. I started in residential about 6 years ago, and I have a team, the Maestro Properties. We were the Nieves Realty Group, my wife and I, and we have another member on our team, and then another guy coming on here soon for just the residential side. But we are Maestro Properties in the residential world, and my wife Sarai spearheads that now. So, but I had to separate my license because this is two separate brokerages, as Jeff mentioned. I can't hold dual licenses in Utah. California, you can have up to 5 different brokerages, but not here. So, but anyway, I handle the commercial side, and then she does the residential. But anyway, that's my information. You can contact me anything that's related to commercial, and I will always answer the phone for you. And bam, you like that. So this is about making money with commercial referrals. And when we get into this slide program, and I'll keep on. Yeah.
Don't mean to interrupt. Just had a question. When you said your wife has the residential and you have the commercial, is that both within EXP, or can you? Okay, so you just have to choose one or the other.
You do. So I'll touch on that quick. So if you guys are looking at doing any commercial, I recommend, of course, knowing your lane of travel, because if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up in a lawsuit, huge $1 million lawsuit, easy. The way it works is you can't cross broker in EXP. I used to with like Keller Williams, Exit Realty and everything, but they stopped that because the E&O, we don't know what E&O insurance is over here versus our own. So cross brokering is not allowed. My wife came with me from Keller Williams, and then we started doing our residential piece, and I did both. So it was residential. That's when you do residential and commercial. Residential is a ugly world in the commercial world. As you know, when you try to contact a commercial guy, they don't pick up the phone. So when they started this brokerage, I stayed. As Jeff knows, him and I touched base, I was going to start my own commercial division. And I already had everything lined up, and within 60 days from today, well, actually last month, 60 days, I was going to launch my own brand because I already know people in the industry. However, the commercial brokerage gave me the opportunity to stay here, which they already had all the tools. So yes, we're both in the same brokerage. If you guys want to do commercial, like I was saying before, know what you're doing, and you have a team there to talk to Lynn and Jeff about. But you can do commercial, but you're only allowed to do up to 7 per year. That's it within EXP. I can only do 3 residential per year, but I have to hand them to Maestro Properties, and I can co-broke. That's how that has to work, because I don't have a license with realty anymore. Did that answer your question? Kind of? Okay.
Yeah, that did. 100% that did. So essentially, pick one or the other. You can do 3 residential if you're commercial. You can do 7 commercial if you're residential. If you want to do both, have your wife get a license. That's what I got out of it.
Exactly. You know, and just like, for example, if Jeff wanted to spearhead commercial, he could join this whole commercial thing in Utah and then put all the residential over to Lynn. Double dip on those, or you refer it out. Commercial takes a long time. I went through training with Mike Lipsy. You know, it took me a year just to get my master's in commercial property. But you know, as Jeff said, I've been in martial arts 40 years. What's another year to me? It's education, and I'm continually training until I get my 10th degree black belt. I got 3 degrees to go, so I'll be 75 when this is all done. But it doesn't matter. So if you want to get into commercial, be patient, get trained, and it's going to take you a long time. If you want to go ahead and do both, stay with residential and only do your 7 commercial deals and just refer the rest out. Because you'll make more money on the residential side if you want to get paid quickly. Commercial takes 6 months minimal to get paid on a lot of stuff, and that's an easy transaction. Nothing's ever easy in this commercial arena. I'm always fighting with the cities. There's been delays. I had a property going on 2 years here. It'd be February. I'm still trying to get done. 2 years. So, you know, you're looking at really long timelines here in the commercial side. So, but you can make money on both. So you can increase your income through the referral system. We can piggyback right on that just by giving them to eXp Commercial, because we do give a pretty hefty referral, 25%. And you're talking, my God, if you're talking a $5 million building, that's bank. And you could just hand me a piece of paper and walk away and you'll forget all about it. 6 months to a year down the road, you'll be like, oh my God, hey, Bill, did anything ever go through with this? Yeah, we're actually going to soon close here, but you would know that anyway. But then suddenly you get these checks come in. Sorry. So you don't have to be a commercial agent to do commercial real estate and actually really get big checks. Like we call it mailbox money over here, because you're getting your 30-day closes, 45-day closes, if you don't have extensions in this COVID world. But you know, you're getting these checks all of a sudden, you know, 6 months down the road, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand. It depends on the price point. Now, typical income from a commercial referral, let me move this thing out of the way here. Put you guys over here on the screen. If I can do that, there we go. And when I say typical, it's typical because some of this stuff is 400,000, 700,000. I was just looking at a $100 million portfolio, you know, so it's all over the place. But I just chose 750 because that's pretty normal around here. So if you're looking at an average commission of 3%, now your 3%, when you guys ever do commercial real estate and you're trying to keep that 3% for a $5 million to $10 million building, they're going to laugh at you, because 3%, you times that out, that is mega bank. A lot of your owners are going to give 1.5 to 2%, if that, on a higher purchase price. I was looking at a 7.8 million. They wanted to give me 1% only. So it's always negotiable, but I use 3% because it's under $1 million. Okay, that's the commission, 22,500. When you guys see that number and everybody sees that dollar sign, but there's so much work that goes into this, you lose money. Just a sign alone, I just popped out $400 just for a little small 4x4 sign, and my bigger signs are 600. But then there's time and all this other stuff, so your money just subtracts quickly. So you're looking at 22,500. Here's a referral fee I usually give on purchase, because without you doing anything, you're still making 5,625. And this is just a referral by handing me a piece of paper. Okay, now if you look here, if you guys are out talking to your SOI and you're doing your residential work every day, you're going to run into people who want commercial. Even when you're making your phone calls, when you're out doing your cold calling and stuff, if they say, do you do commercial? Yes, me and my partner do. You always refer to me as your partner, not like we have a guy. I'm your partner in the eXp Commercial world. We're two separate brokerages, but we're still one family. So you go ahead and just refer to me as that. Within a 10-minute phone call, if you get this referral, you're making $5,625. Imagine with your time, if you do a 3-hour, I don't know what you guys do, but 3-hour calling block, if you spend 10 minutes, just 1 hour, you're making $33,750 if you get that referral based off of the $750,000 deal, which is low. So do you guys understand how that math works? Just throughout the hour, 5-minute call or 10-minute calls. And this is real. Man, my asthma there, my lungs. So you would make about $33,750 just off a moderate deal by just handing referrals, by just making phone calls. Clicker going here. Now identifying, I know a lot of people, I get a lot of calls. What do I say? What do I look for? And I'm just going to skim through stuff here so we're within the 45 minutes. But it's pretty simple, guys. It's your database. Just look at your SOI. First, start there. I know you probably spoke to one of your clients that says, man, I want to open up a store. I want to get back to school and get a degree. I want to open up a bakery. These are dreams they have and they might have fulfilled. Now they need a space. Always keep in contact with them. And that's your database. Listen for opportunities. I am everywhere. I talk to anybody. I'm not a shy guy. And if I hear the slightest thing, the residential to commercial, I'm right there and I butt right in. Oh yeah, you're looking for a guy? So I hand them a card, have communication, listen for opportunities. I also solicit businesses as well as you guys can do that as well. You're professionals. When you're at the dentist and you're getting drilled on and you're looking at him, you hate him, but he wants to expand, take that note, right? I don't care if it's your car dealer, if you get your oil changed, anything. Keep your ears open for all those opportunities and acquaintances.
Hey, Bill, can I make a comment here before you move on from that topic? I want to make a connection here because a lot of the newer agents are like, oh, they want to reach out to their SOI and it's like, well, what do I say? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I want to be salesy. So most of our SOI knows that you're in real estate, right? You've been reaching out to them. You've been doing your touches. They know you're in residential real estate. This piece alone would just be a great touch to give you an excuse to reach out to people and say, hey, you probably didn't know this, but I have a partner in the commercial space that can help you and your friends out with commercial business because they don't see us that way. Our clients don't look at us for commercial. It's not all things real estate, right? They know that we specialize in residential. So that component alone would be a great reach out, a touch, a text message, a little video message or an email or something like that to just kind of open that door so they think of you when they think of commercial because you've got a partner in that space.
Well, and because we're doing so well right now, people do, at least with me, they'll say, you know what, my daughter's looking for a space for this business-wise. Do you know of any commercial agents? You know, I think just keeping your mind open to different possibilities. Now, we have a few people on the call, one up in Washington and two in Oregon. And so, Bill, my question for you for them is, you have agents you're in connection with in those spaces that if they came across someone, obviously they wouldn't reach out to you, right? They would reach out to you and ask you if you know of someone in their area.
You can reach out to me. It's, you know, you can find people, of course, if you went to the directories. But being a designated broker, I have a whole list of people, you know, and I know what state's open for you guys to make it easier. Because it's going to get frustrating trying to find a broker because you can't cross broker. You have to stay within the EXP world. Now you can give it out as a referral to anybody. Keep it in the family though. But yeah, I think just like Lynn said, the best thing for you guys is just to give me a call. I will find you somebody that fits need. And you don't have to worry about referrals of me. You just go ahead and make your deal with that guy I set you up with.
Because like you told me, there isn't a whole lot of ethics in commercial. And so if they reached out to someone miscellaneously, they might not get a referral fee.
That is correct. So guys, you know, I'm going to touch on that real quick. While Lynn said that, I'm moving my things around so I can see everybody. So, okay. There's a code of ethics within the Salt Lake Board of Realtors, right? As a commercial agent, we don't have to belong to that. There is no ethics. And I mean that to the word itself. There is no ethics. I've had people go behind my back, call my clients, and I was furious the first time. I'm like, what, you know, and I'm pretty in your face kind of guy. I'm like, what the hell you think you're doing? I can do what I want. I'm like, no, you can't. Well, I got shut down in the bonus round because you can. In this world, you can do what you want, basically, as long as it's within the scope of the law, but the ethics do not exist. It's black and white. It's about numbers, and they have all kinds of terminology too. Ice picking, black coding, all this stuff. And when you learn these terms, ice picking is exactly what it is, basically. You're getting stuck in the back. But there is no ethics, you're right. So you want to, when you're talking to a commercial person, and he wants to do any type of referral business, when I give you, I don't care if it's EXP or whoever, always get it in writing first. Even with me, even though I'm a trustworthy guy, I might forget to do it. You know, I'm 54 for God's sake. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, I want you to always get it in writing. So get your referral agreement. That way, you know, you get paid. And you always have to make sure you negotiate that percentage. if you co-broker and you want to make sure you talk commissions, because if it's not in writing, you will not get paid. Trust me, you won't. It sucks, but it is what it is. So it's like the mafia world of real estate out here. So the buzzwords, guys and gals, you know, when you're listening to people talk about real estate, just like Lynn said, I hear people all the time say, hey, I always wanted to have a barbershop. You got your license? Yeah, I'll hook you up. You know, then you get together with them and I'll give you a Q&A, you know, what to say. But buzzwords, just like, are they with a company? Are they expanding? Are they relocating? I get tons of this because of the COVID. You know, people are shutting down. Some people are opening up. Depends on the genre. Like if I have a warehouse, my God, the trucking industry is booming because of e-commerce, right? When I'm looking at office, I have office opening up, but there's also an 83% dip. That was back in May. It is increasing, but you know, there's still people who want to have a space. Okay, starting a business. Talk to people who went to college, have a business degree. They need a spot. You know, so talk to, you know, those people. Are they looking to lease a space? Are they interested in buying or selling? You know, because you have some people that say like, yeah, I own the tire store down the road, but then ask them, things going pretty good? Nah, you know, it sucks, man. COVID just killed me. I can help you get up under that. My partner and I can, you know, take care of that for you. So there's some buzzwords. You just want to basically listen, just like you do in residential. You just gotta just think commercial wise, think business. You want to expand, relocate, or purchase. Okay, what's wrong with this thing? Technology, man. Hold on 1 second. Am I like froze up?
Your slide's not moving. Maybe you got too many fancy transitions in there.
Oh,
Overloaded it.
what happened there? Yeah, I took them out, dude, because Sarai's like, Bill, no. I was all excited, you know. So, okay. So here's the stuff I do, guys. In commercial real estate, it is not like residential. You just don't look for a house. Anything under 5 units, 4 units down is residential. Even though you have multifamily 4 units, it's still residential. You're looking at rent rolls and stuff, but in commercial it's different because I have hospitality. I have a hotel that might have 180 doors in it. I have to look at each room, look for vacancy, mechanical issues. There's a whole plethora of stuff. Restaurants, a whole beast itself. I have to deal with FDA, hoods, washable walls. Medical is another one because there's lead-filled walls. I'm helping the doc out right now who's a dentist, and we're looking for walls that can be moved and lead-filled and all this stuff. It has to be x-ray rooms. 1031 exchanges, I do those in commercial. Warehouse, another different beast. Even though you're looking at a big old block building, there's still moving parts there you need to know. You need to know if the stackable, if you have like somebody who has product, they want to stack it 3 high, you got to make sure the roof's high enough. Is there any leaks? Is there fire suppression systems? There's a whole bunch of stuff involved with that. Retail's a little bit easier because you're looking at a space at a mall, basically, right? And let's say I have a wedding store. The reason I said that is I have a client. She's looking for a space to sell wedding dresses. So there you go. You got a retail space. And then you negotiate with the landlord, who's a whole different thing because that's leasing. Office space is a whole different thing as well. There's Class A, B, and C buildings. Depends on how old you are. You know, if there's deferred maintenance. Class A buildings, the ones down Jordan Commons, I hooked that up. I think their lease is $26,000 a month, you know, but it's for a big bank. So, and it's a beautiful building, but there's a lot of pieces in there for tenant improvement. There's elevators and all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, this is the stuff I do. And this is why you always want to refer out a commercial deal unless you really want to get into commercial and learn because there's too many moving parts. This is referrals that I stuck in here that are real. This is actually money paid to people down to $200 you'll see up to 55 grand. Barry Tipton got $55,000 referral paycheck for just giving a referral. And then Rhonda got a $200 check because it's a lease. And how it works is you're leasing, it could be an 800 square foot building. our space, if you times that out by the rents and by just 3 years, you're only making small change. But I help everybody out. I have a big heart. I believe everybody has an opportunity to have a business or their dreams and fulfill it. And I'm there to help. Because even though it's a small little space, don't be afraid to reach out to me, because I will help those people. Because what's going to happen is they're going to grow and they're going to want something bigger or purchase. Okay. So that's just an example, guys, of some stuff. And you see there's 13.5 from Manley. That's a commercial building we have up in, and Joe Walker.
I love seeing
Yeah,
people
so-
on our team making good money like that.
Absolutely. And she's working her butt off, and there's a lot of challenges when it comes to multifamily. She's learning, but that's where it goes.
Hey, Bill, let me ask you a question so I don't forget, because
Yep.
on your previous slide, you said, hey, don't get into commercial unless you want to learn about commercial. So
Where we at?
Jordan was asking some of the questions because he might have an interest in that, and there may be others, but do you have something in place, kind of like eXp Realty does, like a mentorship program? If somebody wants to learn commercial, they need that component, right? They need somebody that's seasoned, been in the trenches to kind of help them out, just like a new residential real estate needs that program. Is there something similar on the commercial end?
There is. So if you become an eXp commercial broker, we're brokers are over here. So when you become a broker, you're forced to. There is no, I don't want to. If you're not tenured, and what I mean by tenured, and this is so open-ended, you have to have 3 deals within 24 months. And Dave, he's on here, he knows he's been in the industry a long time. 3 deals in 24 months, and then I spoke up and said, wait, 3 deals of what? If you do warehouse and you do 3 deals, I'm happy with that, but I'm always here to help. But what about restaurant? So did your 3 deals cover that too? Absolutely not. So, but to answer your question, Jeff, yeah, we have a mentorship program that you have to go through, and you're going to be assigned to a seasoned broker. And with every single deal, you're going to have to shadow and know what to do, how to close it from A to Z for 3 deals. And the commission structure on that is 60-40. 40 goes to the broker, 60 goes to the agent learning. At KW Commercial, when I was there, it was 70-30, 70 to me, 30. So we made it a little bit more lucrative for the agent on this one.
One little follow-up. In commercial, your brokers over here, does that mean, like we look at an associate broker in the residential area, does that mean more schooling, more education, and more experience, and you're literally like taking another test other than just being an agent, or do you just refer to them as brokers? We
just refer to them as brokers because you're brokering deals, because brokering is putting things together. There is more education, there's more time, there's more moving parts, is why they got the term broker, because you're brokering deals.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I know it's confusing at first because they're like, oh, you're a associate broker, even though you're just an agent, but you just get the title like broker.
Can I clarify that and see if I understood that? You said you have to become a broker in order to do commercial, first off. Is that true?
Well, no, you don't have to become a broker. So the way it works is the word broker in the commercial arena is just a term given to us because we're brokering large deals, more moving parts.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, also the term broker, like me, I'm the designated broker, but I have that position. When it comes to the residential world, they're agents because they're dealing with one entity. You're dealing with just homes. Even though the fourplex is residential, there's more moving parts, but yeah, you don't have to become a broker.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So
right.
and then the other thing is, but you do need to shadow somebody who's done commercial, and you have to do 3 deals. 3 deals minimum in your first 2 years.
That's right. And back in here on this slide here, you see there's a lot of moving parts. Because if you're looking at the one I was looking at, the other one was 136 doors, I believe. If you're looking at 136 doors in a multifamily, there's a lot of things you have to do, especially if there's deferred maintenance. There's a lot of things. So if you're going to deal with multifamily, you got to know what you're doing, right? So you're going to be assigned to a broker who's going to take you through A to Z. Now, let's say you get a guy who wants a restaurant and he wants a big chain. He wants all these things. Do you know what to do in restaurants? And it's going to be no. So then you have to find the well, a lot of us on the EXP commercial have done this whole arena, right? However, you want to become an expert in each field. So how we do it in commercial, if you want to come to commercial, let's say you want to do hospitality. You want to do those apartments and stuff. So you're assigned to hospitality. You're going to learn that inside and out. Jeff wants to come over. He wants to do office space. He's going to learn that leg inside and out. If something comes over restaurant, we slide it over to the guy handling restaurant because you want to be an expert in that field. So for each piece that you're looking at here, until we build this up in Utah, I'll help you through it, as well as the other tenured brokers over here, because you can do any of these things and we have the knowledge to close it and actually handle it. But three deals per leg you have to get done. Unless you've done it before and you can show, and when I say show, you're going to have to show your closing record. You show me if you did some leasing for Class A buildings, how many did you do? Well, I helped with one. It doesn't count. You have to close it from A to Z. So, did I answer your question?
Yes. Can I ask one more?
Absolutely. Jeff will shut me down if we go over. So.
No, I actually just had a client call me, like this is probably 30 minutes ago. He's like, hey, I have been offered 5% ownership in a $4.2 million apartment complex in Georgia. Do you know anybody that would be willing to invest that has a 17% cash on cash return? And I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, well, I probably have people that could invest, but why would I give clients that have money to you when they're already buying through me? I'm just wondering if if somebody called you with that same exact question, how would you get involved? What route would you take? I told him I'd get back to him, but yeah, I'm just wondering on that.
Is he an agent or just an investor?
He is an investor. He's done like probably 6 properties with me personally.
Okay.
And he's the vice president of Brink Security. So he has a lot of money. But he's taken all of his real estate classes. I've been telling him to, hang his license with EXP, but he does not have his license as of yet.
Okay. I get those calls every day. There's investors calling me every day for up to $100 million portfolios. I had a 500 million. Anybody can talk anything. Now, you know this guy. So let's say you don't. If you don't know somebody, they're calling you like, hey, Bill, I want to do this. I want you to put an offer in for 200 million. It's not going to happen. You show me a bank statement with that cash in there because I'm not going to waste my time. That's how I do it. Because it's too many moving pieces. Now, if I have a relationship, let's say Jeff, I know they're looking for property before the COVID hit, right, Jeff and Lynn? I mean, all this stuff. But when you're looking for stuff, guys, you want to make sure you vet out that person. Now, to answer your question is, I do take those investors and I help them, but I'm their agent. I get the commissions. They don't get anything. I don't give it because they're not licensed anyway. I handle the deal. I seal the deal. They're going to get their bank when they get the tenants inside the building. That's going to be their income. So that's how I do it. Now, if there's a licensed agent who's a / investor, which I have that too, I'll go ahead and partner. Now, the partners on this, guys, if you partner with somebody who is a licensed agent and they don't know commercial, remember that expense, if you have to list the building, goes on you. Because when I do a 50-50 partnership, you're going to pay half the signage. So when everything's said and done, it's going to cost you a couple grand to list with me. If you want to go ahead and do a 40% partnership, I'll handle stuff. So keep that in mind how that works. But yeah, if you want to handle investors and hand it out to somebody in Georgia, I got people down there that can actually help you out. I would just have the buyer broker agreement with him saying that, you represent him. This is what you're going to pay. If you don't get, you don't know if that guy's going to pay you in Georgia. That way you're going to get some kind of income from your client.
Yeah, I was more specifically even asking, like, I don't even know if the seller is offering a real estate commission. It sounds like he's trying to avoid foreclosure and raise, he said he only has to raise about 300 grand, and then he'd give 5% ownership in the property to my buddy if he brought a person with 300 grand. So I'm wondering, I don't want to like go around and call the guy and say like, hey, what's in it for me? If I bring you a client, you're giving, Dan 5%. I'm just wondering, like, and I also don't want to screw over Dan because I feel like he's my brother. He really is like my best friend. So I'm just wondering how you deal with something like that.
Well, remember, out of state, you're not licensed. You can't talk real estate, right? You can make a phone call, but you got to watch that. Don't get yourself jacked up on that. I have boots on the ground down there. EXPP gal, who's been in the industry 20 years. She's learning commercial. I hand off stuff to her, and she's my eyes and ears, and she does negotiation based on what I tell her. So be careful with that, because you can't negotiate real estate and do all these things when you're not licensed to. I would, if someone's saying like, hey, I'll give you 5% if you bring somebody to me, the agreement's going to be between you and your client, not that guy in Georgia. So my recommendation to you is have just a buyer broker with your client and talk about whatever he's going to give you, whatever you negotiate. 3% depends on the price point of the building and what they're going to offer, of course, and then refer it out. I would refer it out, but here's the thing. You're only going to get about 25%. When that referral comes back to you guys, then you're going to, you might just get that. But the thing is, you can get more money on top of it, because if you have a buyer broker agreement with him, look, I'm going to get 25% of this, will you be willing to give more? You can do that as well, but it's up to you. I don't dabble anything out of state because we can't cross broker anymore. I go ahead when I take an investor, it's pretty clear what I want and how I'm going to operate and what the referral agreement is going to be. If I get pushback from a client, no go. I just exit. The liability is too high, the cost is too high, and the time is too long to dick around with commercial real estate and not get paid or sued. So I shut them down in a heartbeat. So now if they're investors and say they have the cash flow, this guy, always get evidence. I don't take anything at face value. Always get evidence, that they have the cash or syndication, they have other moving partners. I don't want one bank statement from Tom when there's Dick and Harry over here. I want all three to make, if they're looking for a $200 million portfolio, I want to see if they got the funds. Okay. So I shut them down pretty quick because you're going to waste time. You'll see, because I was running around doing everything and anything in the beginning, and I lost oh my God, thousands and thousands and thousands of cash and time. So if you want to call me after the fact, I don't know, did you grab my number at the beginning?
Yes, I did. I screenshotted it.
Okay, call me afterwards so I can ask more questions instead of, having a conversation here, because I have to go in depth about what relationship you have and all this other stuff. That way we can.
You're good. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Jordan, one quick comment, just for you to look at that.
All right.
What your guy is looking for is for you to bring him somebody that has money so that he can invest in this deal across the country and he gets a percentage of ownership.
Correct.
The position of maybe negotiating or talking about a finder's fee. If I'm going to hook you up with my clients that have that type of cash, so you can get ownership in this building.
Absolutely.
Have that conversation. What's in it for me? Like you started out this question with, if my investors that have money are investing with me already here locally, why would I give them to you and tie up their cash across the country so you can get
correct
building? So just be very direct and say, let's lay it out and the expectations. There may or may not even be a deal there for you. He's just maybe asking for a favor. So maybe have one more conversation with Bill, and it might be something that you just can't help him out on unless there's a reason to.
You're right. That could take his
thank you
away from investing with you here. So
that's right. There's always an underlying motive. Remember, I said commercial, there is no ethics. You're going to get stabbed left and right. You're going to get used and abused. I'm an East Coast boy. If I don't look like you, you're going to know. And I recommend that if you get in commercial real estate, have tough skin, do not care about the feelings. This is not about feelings in commercial. It's about negotiations, numbers, and what you agree upon on commissions. It's that easy. So if I don't like somebody, I don't work with them either. So there you go.
Bill, we have a quick question from Shantae.
Sure.
So she is asking to introduce eXp Commercial to another commercial broker. That would you do that? And what I think when you're talking with someone in the commercial field, that probably not doing overview slides and an intro to this to the state broker, I would think to do like a third-party call where you have somehow, I would think on the commercial side, there's probably a different way to do it than the way that we're doing eXp to just real estate agents, just because commercial agents are a different breed.
Yeah, depends on the relationship. One of my residential gal, my Maestro property team deals with the Foxborough area, and she knows the areas where she lives. So she's constantly getting people say, hey, do you have somebody that can help me get a restaurant or whatever space? And it's always yes. My broker does that in T-Miller. How I do it is, if you know how to answer the questions, by all means, answer some of those questions and ask some questions if you know what to ask. If you do not know, always hand it off to your partner. And the verbiage you use is like, look, the designated broker of Utah who handles the eXp commercial division in Utah is my partner. And they're going to say, oh, really? Because when you have titles, as you know, even in the commercial world, guys, real quick, there are titles. There are senior, office professionals. They're just titles, and because when you're dealing with somebody who wants space, they want professionalism. So when you say designated broker, like, oh shit, this guy has years and all this stuff. But sorry about cursing. But anyway, so that's what you do. So when it comes to talking to them, call me. You can text me. I will do a three-way call with you and just do a brief call, but I would like to do a Zoom or more in-depth Q&A. Because if it's Tennessee, I have a whole form I use because there's a bunch of questions you have to ask and stuff. So, to answer your question, kind of how I do it. You're good. Okay. So the security and protection, guys. Article 11. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You have to stay in your lane. If you do not know your area of expertise, don't dabble in it. You have to partner with somebody, and that's your rules of ethics. And like I said, there's ethics here, and you're governed on the residential side. So when I send you a referral agreement, like I said, you want it in writing, right? You want to know what you're going to get, and you want to know that you have something, and it's required anyway. So we want to get that right out of the way. I don't do any work like, we'll do the referral later. Well, why? Just get it done. I'll send it to you via, Scottslope. It's that simple. I keep you informed. I just don't take something and then you're like 6 months down the road, unless they're MIA. And if you have a relationship with them, please keep talking to them. Just like the gal in the beginning asked about the ice cream shop. I dealt with these people. We had a great conversation, but they fell off the map all of a sudden. And then won't return calls or anything. Before I reach out to my partner there, I want to make sure this is fizzled out. So, and like you guys, just be patient, commercial, because it's a long time. So I keep you informed the whole way. And then once stuff starts moving, I'll invite you to even come out to see how this works, see if you like it. And right here, guys, even though eXp Holdings allows a residential agent to handle 7 commercial deals a year, you're allowed to do that. You have to avoid the realtor code of ethics, okay? You can drive a car, but there's rules of driving a car. You're going to get fined for speeding, you crash a car and all that. Same way with real estate. You can do stuff, but you got to know what you're doing. So be very, very careful with that. eXp Commercial offers comprehensive services. Now, like you saw what I do, we do every aspect of commercial. So we can always help any I don't care what it is, we can handle it. We are nationwide. We are going global. That's coming soon. So it actually, there is boots in the ground, but they just don't want to blast it out there yet. But we are going to be global soon. And referrals add to your financial success. So if you're sitting down with your team and say, how much you want to do this year? I want to do 6 figures. Beautiful. Now, how many referrals do you want to do? Add that on top of it. Just get a projection out there. I want to have another 20 G in just referrals. That way you always keep that in mind. You work on both sides. Okay. Okay, this little thing here will not have like a delay. Okay. Oops. But real quick, action items. Like I said, business owners, wealthy, corporate executives. You're dealing with business owners when you get I don't care where you go. Your SOI is car dealers, get your oil change, get your haircut, listen to them, talk to them. If you see clientele, maybe just throw a little comment out like, man, you guys, it looks like you need like a bigger space. Do something like that. You know, wealthy individuals want to move money to save taxes. They might have to, right? So talk to wealthy individuals because their portfolios are huge. I deal with a lot of syndication, a lot of people who have a big portfolio who want to buy like a dollar store, you know, down to these 7-Eleven. They're all syndicated. So I talk to those people because they have to move their money. Corporate executives too. The thing I run into with corporate executives and employees, make sure they have the permission to even talk about a space or even sign. Don't waste your time. Well, I think I can do this. Well, why don't you look for this? No, it doesn't work that way. We want to know who has the permission to actually, you know, have us move forward, okay? Be careful with that. I deal with that a lot. Again, identifying opportunities. Again, if they own commercial real estate, what type? You don't have to get real in depth. And I'll send this slide deck to you and stuff. So just ask some questions like, you own commercial real estate now? Beautiful. You know how everything works. Let me get my partner with you. Let's have a 3-way call and see if we can help each other. We do stuff like that. Okay. Whether they're looking to buy 1031 exchanges. Do they have to invest again? You know, if they have to invest that money instead of have it lay there, that's a great opportunity to talk about commercial real estate. Realistic expectations. I deal with this every single day. I get a person, whether it be like the ice cream shop to, I had a guy who makes honey and he needed a spot. I ran 2.5 hours for this guy to list his property. And then it went right down because the expectations weren't there because I shut him down because, you know, because there's too much money and time involved. You want somebody who's really motivated, who wants a space, who has the means to move forward. Down to cash, down to time, down to syndication, or the partners. You have an LLC. All this stuff needs to come in to play before you do anything. What return they expect. And again, here's some more, and I'll just go through it again. You just want to make sure you ask applicable questions of are they able to purchase or lease a space? Here's a purchase. The first thing you looked at here is investors. Like I said, the question I had there, investors are everywhere. I have investors who have possible money. Just don't even worry about those guys. You know, possible money. Well, when you get your money together or you get your SBA loan wrapped up, call me. You know, but I'm not don't sit there and send properties and do all this research in the front because it's too much work. And you don't have CoStar and stuff anyway. So if you had CoStar, you'd be spending about $1,300 a month on your own from the national platform to do research for something that's going to die because they don't have SBA lending or the funds. So don't waste your time. This is a purchase. It's just like a house, guys. Why do they have to sell? Just ask questions. You know, are they growing? You know, is it time to sell because the seller's market? Commercial real estate's the same. It's a seller's market. We're getting higher values. It's just longer times to close because of scarcity in construction, and also when it comes to commercial inspectors. It's about the same though. Okay, you just ask the applicable questions basically as you do residential, and then there's a little bit more. Tenant representation. Here's the easiest things for you guys if you're looking at commercial. If you have a guy who wants to rent a space, this is easier. This doesn't go to escrow. When you're looking at, let's say Jeff wants to rent out a space because he wants to open up a bakery. I find him a space, we get it all built out. I negotiate with the landlord, tenant improvement, and he moves in. Okay. And then the lease is drafted. How do you think we get paid? Well, we don't get paid through escrow. We get paid by providing an invoice. So I type up this invoice based on the rent rolls, based on the years, and I give it to the landlord, keeping my fingers crossed that he'll pay me. It's like you doing a service, an outside service. I don't care if you're mowing yards, the landscaping, you give an invoice to be paid. Same way with tenant representation. So you have to be very clear on what you're going to get paid and how you're going to get paid. Okay, so it's pretty tricky. And that's why I said in commercial real estate, it's backstabbing out here for this stuff. And then you want to ask multiple locations. And as I said, COVID-19 has shut a lot of people down. If you guys are out during your day, during your cold calling, ask questions, just like Jeff said, if we can help them with, if they own commercial, you don't know, to ask questions or it might come up because COVID-19 shutting a lot of stuff down. They have to get out of that lease. Now, subleasing, don't find somebody to take over their lease because you won't get paid. The landlord's not going to pay for that. Okay, you're going to have to get paid from the tenant. That's how that works. But I'll go through that more, later on. So again, there's more tenant stuff if they can make decisions and stuff like that. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You can't have an employee try to get a space. It doesn't work that way. Landlord leasing. Here's the other side of it. You guys are out, you're talking to a landlord who wants to lease out his space. We're there to help you do it. Now you're dealing with somebody who's an owner of a space. And the problems you're going to have, because I deal with this, when I rent out a space to a tenant rep and they bring a client to me, they give me an invoice and I hand it over to the landlord and I don't get paid or they don't get paid, you're going to get phone calls. That's the way it's going to be. They're going to call the brokers. So just be aware of that. Okay, but it's a really great thing because you have a strip mall, all the spaces need to be filled. So you're constantly getting income. You only get income when you get the lease, when you sign the lease, you'll get half your income. If there's tenant improvement, if there's a 3-month delay for the tenant to start paying rent, that's when you'll get the second half of your paycheck. If it's a full service lease, you'll get your money right up front, as soon as they sign the lease, if the landlord will pay you. So just keep that in mind. And again, I hit on COVID-19, that's a big topic in my world. So qualifying, again, I don't mess with anybody. I did in the beginning, and I was taught by some pretty heavy players, but I was kind of hard-headed. I was like, I'll help everybody out because I want everybody to succeed because I come from loss and I want everybody to succeed. In this world, it's different. When you qualify somebody, make sure they have the means. Don't waste your time. When you start looking at your bottom line, start going down because you're spinning your wheels, you'll stop being so nice. But ask a couple qualifying questions, requirement, and do you have the means? They're the biggest things. Can you make this happen? Do you have the cash? If not, call me when you can. You don't have to be that direct, of course, but I'm just going quick with this. Again, motivation, authority, and exclusivity. What's the motivation? Just like selling a home. Authority, can you actually make this happen? Or is someone assigned to find the property? And you as agents, can you actually seal the buyer broker agreement? And most of the time it's no, sometimes yes. I'm dealing with, right now it's a 1.15 mil. He really liked this female agent. He's 78 years old. He wanted that relationship or no deal. Okay, whatever, man. The bottom line is though, I have to list it, but you can talk to her all you want, but I can't. But you have to remember, can you seal the deal? I sealed the deal, and that was only 2 weeks ago because of the relationship with her. If you can seal a deal with something because you're EXP, I can co-broker with you, but we have to talk, of course, commissions in the beginning. So always pull me into your conversations. Referrals. This is how I operate. 25% referral commission for sale opportunities. All right, because like you heard, there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of time. 20% is what I give on a lease opportunity. But again, it depends on the lease, guys. If I'm looking at $750,000 or 750,000 square feet, that is huge. That's your big warehouses. I'll give you 25% because all that stuff gets split out and there's delayed in being paid. 5% more is bank, but a lot of your leases are pretty small. So that's why we offer 20%. The 40% referral commission is if you're actively working. If you want to do 50% with me, have at it, but you're going to get half of those costs. Because I spend a few grand on my listings. But like I said, I just put that sign out of the yard. They could be 400, they could be 600 bucks, two-sided, depends how big they are. These signs are really expensive. So, but I'm willing to do that, okay? And we're at the end. I'm here to help you with anything. You guys can call me anytime. You can text me. Lynn and Jeff know I'm up all the time. If I don't know the question, I usually do. I have people that have been in the industry 40 to 50 years. These commercial guys die in commercial. I can always make a phone call. Other than that, it's pretty easy there. You know, we have a referral agreement. You just could get your referral. The easiest thing to do, guys, is since you guys are residential, to wrap this up, just refer it out. Make money on your residential side. Be an expert. If you want to talk EXP commercial, always remember, if you come over to the EXP commercial division, you're done here. You're done residential except for 3 deals a year. And how that works, essential license is over here. You have to co-broker. You just can't have dual licenses. It doesn't work. I would stay here right now. We're in phase 1 of launching the EXP commercial. Work your SOI, make 30-day closes, 45 days, because when you come over to the EXP commercial world, you're going to have 6 months to a year to get paid on your first check, and it's going to break you. So think wise, partner with me, learn, get educated, and then talk to Lynn and Jeff or whoever, you know, is your team leader or owner, and then make that decision. Okay? Yay, look at that.
That's
Q&A,
awesome, Bill.
There's some more.
Good stuff. And I don't think
Keep on
anybody
time.
minds. I don't think anybody minds that we went a little bit over. We weren't really
Okay.
holding to that 45-minute section there. This is all really good stuff. I loved what you said at the end about not wasting your time. Because we talk about that in the residential world all the time, meaning if you're not pre-qualified, we're not going out to look at houses, right? And I think a lot of us can get excited when we have a lead that has interest and we start going down that path and we spend all that time with them. So I love that you ended with all those qualifier questions, and make sure they're not just like interested, but they're more moving forward and they have the means to do that. It's the same thing we got to do in residential. So
Yeah, it's the same thing.
rabbit holes right there.
Yeah, right.
So guys, you that are still on the call, most of you are on the team. Let's wrap up with some questions here for Bill. Anybody got more questions for Bill? Comments?
You know, I'm going to show you one thing real quick if we have some time. If I can find it. Where is my, well, maybe not. Go ahead and ask away. I'm going to try to find something here for you. No questions?
I'm curious, how do the cost for EXP commercial versus a different commercial brokerage level out? Like, how do they compare?
I'm glad you asked, and that's what I was going to pull up. It is expensive.
It is.
However,
you're talking about the cap and the splits and stuff like that, right, Shantae? Bill will find this here in a second, but like here in residential, we're on a $16,000 cap. Bill, if I remember correctly from that class we were both in, I think it's 20,000.
There you go, 20 grand. So how this works, guys, is there's an 80-20 split in the commercial world. The split does not exist. It only exists at KW, EXP, and I believe I was offered another big corporation, but they wanted to do a 90-10. That's it. You didn't cap. You cap here. 80-20, 20,000 cap. I about fell off my chair. At my other next gen, when I was there, I set the cap at 40G because your national co-star over here, you see it says, well, I'll go through that, but your national co-star, I paid $2,020 a month just for that co-star and $155 for LoopNet for the MLS. And then that doesn't include CREOP and all these other publishers. I spent about, I don't know, I'll say about $2,400 a month. Here, they're only charging $500 a month. This is mind-blowing to me. $500 a month, but there is a $500 startup fee. That $500, they need something to put you in the program. So it makes sense. And that's chump change in commercial. $500 a month, you get CoStar, LoopNet, and I'll show you here. If I can find it.
Crazy, Bill, because those things are so expensive in your world.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, but you know, when you're actually in commercial real estate, you understand the costs. Here is minuscule. I mean, it's crazy for $500 a month. Now, this is what you get, guys. We don't use KV Core. You can't because it's not commercial friendly. We use build out. There is your OMs, your operating memorandums, proposals. We use different terminology and different tools here. You can't give a flyer out. If you give a paper flyer, they're just going to throw it back at you. There has to be a whole operating memorandum in there, rent rolls and everything about that building. So you get that with build out. This is what you're paying for. And this is very expensive. CoStar, you're getting national access. National access for one person is over $1,300 a month for one person. And that's not including LoopNet. LoopNet's $157 per silver listing. So it adds up very quickly. So you're getting all this stuff here, 80-20 splits, 20,000 cap. You can rev share, there's stock. I mean, you can icon. I mean, it's pretty robust. So I hope I answered your question on that with the fees. And there is a $250 broker fee and also a $350 risk management fee. And I know when you guys hear the word fees, it makes me cringe as well. In this world here, guys, if you're looking at a $50 million E&O, and that's what we have in commercial, not 5 million, 50 million, you would wish you only paid $350 because $350 is just per transaction, not monthly. The $250 broker fee is because of the moving parts and the liability is a millionfold. Because if I miss anything in this commercial adventure, anything, you know, I get sued, I will not be in this industry, I promise you. Because that's how heavy this is. So the $250 fee you pay, and other than that, you only pay $500 a month, and you get everything, all the tools, the marketing. There's tons of stuff.
So, what was your biggest to be an EXP commercial versus a KW or next gen?
Well, I left KW, and you know, so some of you guys know the story. I won't go through it, but it was a tough move for me because I'm very close to the owner. However, I'm very black and white guy. I come from law enforcement, karate stuff, so I'm very black and white. If it doesn't fit me, I need to move on. Still love you the way it is, but I got to go. So I made that choice when I went with Next Gen Commercial because of the opportunity to have the tools I need to be successful. And it was a good adventure for 10 months. I just see different opportunity for myself being a business owner in any industry. And I owned businesses before. I owned a private investigation business for 17 years and karate school, been doing this 39. I know how money works. When I see things that just might profit me differently, I choose to take a different direction. And that's when I was going to open up my own brokerage. And Jeff and Lynn kind of even warned me, like, what are you doing? You know, basically, because to start up, my God, it was incredible. But I was willing to take that gamble. But I listened to you, Jeff and Lynn, I did. And I did research on the back tools of EXP. And I decided to stay with EXP commercial because I wanted to do 100% commercial. And for me to, and I'll get back to why I stayed, for me to compete, I had to take a different step because Colliers International, CRC, Marcus and Millichap, and all these other big entities do not want to deal with residential. They don't answer the phone. Thank God when I was at KW Commercial, we're ranked number 17 on the Lipsy scale. Mike Lipsey's a national commercial trainer, over 40 years in the industry. So we were ranked and known, and I had big players that I rubbed elbows with. Now back to EXP. When I was going to make my exit, I listened to everybody's like, why don't you research this? It's going to cost this. And I know the numbers. I went into the commercial division one day, just out of the blue, because I was ready to go. And I talked to Stephanie, my boss, basically saying, hey, I'm going to do this. Matter of fact, we need you. I'm like, oh my God, for what? You know, so that's how that all came about, because they were looking at brokers for 50 states. And I researched it. This is a heavy burden. It's really risky. But again, I teach karate, for God's sake. You talk about risky. I just look at, I'm a very black and white guy. If you bring a commercial piece into me and you're my agent, and I say to you, hey, you need to do these things, you have to do them, because I have a whole list of stuff you have to do. And believe me, it'll all be, all my I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So I made that choice to stay with EXP based on, it's just their brokerage fees, as you see, is incredible. $500 a month. That's incredible. I'm paying way more than that. Well, I was. And plus, James, the president, have you guys, I don't know if you have seen him yet, in his spiels, he's gave some presentations. That guy's tenured. He's very smart. I did some research in before I took the position and before I did my exit. I like his vision. I like his drive and where he's going with this, and he knows a lot of people. So I decided to stay with EXP Commercial, and here I am.
So maybe we could background for the 10 of us that are on here, the 9 of us that are on here. So EXP actually just decided to create the commercial division, correct? They know about this at EXPCon, and Dave and James is the one that's actually heading it. Is that correct?
That is correct. He's the president of the global operations.
Okay, so they did a ton of research before they decided to even do this. And so the opportunity came right as you were making the transition. So those people that don't know that, this is, I just want you to realize that we learned this at EXPCon because before we didn't have just the EXP commercial division, and everything we've been doing, you know, they have top-notch people. James is, like you said, I mean, one of those people.
He's on top of it. Yeah.
So
yeah, this is a brand new launch, and you know, it might be a brand new launch, but there's all dogs in this industry running it, so it's the same. It's like it's just like a burden off our chest. I don't have to be residential anymore. I didn't have to be. I could have went to Collier's, and the only reason to answer your question also, Shantae, is the reason I don't go to the bigger firms is I don't want to give up 50% of my paycheck. You know, I don't want to do that, you know, and I have a vision, and I just like, you know, the core values, guys. You know, it's kind of funny. When I was looking at these here, this is me. I forced chaos to create change and survive and grow. That's me. I'm not afraid of anything. I've started businesses, I succeeded, and I just go forward. And that's my belief. And in the big firms, I couldn't do that. Now, I could have had a role, a title, but I wanted something bigger where I could make change and educate as well. So that's why I stayed. It's just everything's good here.
So does everything work as it does for us residentially on the rev share side and on the stock purchase side?
It does.
Basically the same overview, except for
yes, it's basically the same overview. Where's that at? Here's your equity here. You know, and you get the $20,000 stock. When you become an icon, you can icon in this side. You can do all kinds of stuff. You know, and it's broken down. See right here again. For revenue, same thing. And guys, you can actually bring an agent and put him in commercial and still have rev share. You don't have to think, well, I don't get anything here. No, it's a big family. You're going to place this guy over commercial, you still get income. If you're commercial, I can place a guy in residential, get rev share. So we all work together in this scheme of things here. It's pretty good. And then the tiers are the same, you know. So, but yeah, and then the world, pretty much the world is the same. They have, I guess it's the same, right, Lynn? The healthcare, I think it's all the same. They actually mimicked what the realty side has to bring over to make it fair and make it robust for us as well, because why come over here if we're not going to have the perks? And here's what you get. We have Sky Slope. The Sky Slope is more robust. There's more stuff in it. We have our own workplace rooms, branding and marketing. We have our own stuff like that. And we have the CoStar, and then to build out your pipeline and CRM, because we don't use KV Core. And we are a commercial agent. Also, you do not have to belong to the Board of Realtors because it's pointless. I'm probably going to stay with them because I have Maestro Properties with my wife, and I need a co-broker, and she hates talking to people. So I'm going to, be in the background somehow. I have to watch it though. But there is a commercial department within our Board of Realtors. You can actually join that. It's cheaper if you're commercial. Now I can tell you, eXp Commercial frowns on us belonging to the MLS because it brings down kind of the value, because we don't use that. Commercial guys do not use MLS whatsoever, and they're governed by a board of our code of ethics. All right. So might stay in it unless I'm forced to be out of it, but you don't have to, is what I'm saying. So you'll save money on that. You won't pay 85 bucks a month. That goes away. Everything goes away in the realty side. So
Bill, one question on that. Does that mean that the commercial properties that are on the MLS are commercial listings by a residential agent, right? They're not one of you.
Yes. Most of the time, yes. Now there are smaller shops, mom and pop commercial divisions out there that belong to the MLS, but not your big firms. You'll never see Colliers on there. You'll never see Marcus and Millichap, nothing like that, because it's a waste of time. And the reason is, guys, is there's only, I think, 600 some properties on the MLS, I believe, for commercial. That's it. Because, and why waste your time dealing with residential people who can't ask the applicable questions and make the deal go through? So that's why. And the rest of it here is just the same. Everything is branded to eXp Commercial. As a residential agent, guys, if you do commercial, I think that's it. See, the rev share is the same. If you do a commercial deal as a residential person, if you're on Jeff and Lynn's team, you have to make sure you get permissions, because you're going to bring down the team if you screw up. But if you do, if you know what you're doing, you cannot use eXp Commercial branding at all, because it's a separate brokerage. Remember that. You won't have the tools to do any research except for the MLS, and there's only 600 properties on there. You're not going to do a service. So just keep that in mind, like I said. So, but you can do what you want. And I'm here.
Also, along those lines then, Bill, if a residential agent does a commercial deal, their E&O and their broker review is going to be on the commercial side, right? Because it's a commercial transaction. They're going to pay more.
That's right. They'll pay more. And this is what I understand as well. Even though I'm the designated broker for the commercial division for Utah, if you're residential, it stays with Rick Southwick. So now I'm not going to put down Rick or anybody else, but just remember, every broker that's residential is residential. I helped Rick actually put some forms in there, as well as my broker at KW Commercial, what to look for, what we need that's applicable to the deal. So Rick knows now, but you would deal with him, not me. So keep that in mind as well when you're dealing your commercial deals. Like I said, he knows his stuff. I've been teaching him, and he's been teaching me his side and trying to collab back and forth.
Good. No, I mean, the whole point of this class was to make it easy to refer deals out so we can concentrate on the area that we're better in. And for me personally, that's where I'm going to stay. I don't think I need to cross borders. There's too much education involved. And like you said, you can't really do the tools and offer the right value to your clients if you don't have
Yeah.
access to all the information. So
That is very true. And that's why when I got into commercial, I went ahead and I enrolled in all the programs, and I'm looking at a CCIM. I'm a candidate for that. That takes a long time. It's expensive though, guys. It's expensive to come over here. So make sure if you do make a move to commercial, that you have a little bit of money on the side. You need that. I'm blessed because I have a residential team and my wife could run it. But if you're a sole agent and you only move 5 properties a year, it's going to be tough because you have to have $500 a month come out of your pocket and all that stuff in the beginning. It takes a long time to get paid. So, but
another
great
great
refer it out for now and learn.
Another great thing about this launch of them creating this whole separate entity and brand is I've talked to newer agents that are getting their license, and they've got family that have been in commercial for a long time. And this is last year, right? And so this wasn't ready, and it's not ready in every state, right? But it is here.
Right.
I think there's about 15 of them, if I remember right, that have and the rest are coming quickly. But it gives an attraction conversation for those agents that want to go to commercial that wouldn't have considered EXP last year.
That's right. That's right. I have a lot of big players interested in this model because, like I said, there's nowhere that we cap. There's nowhere. You know, $20,000, that's like one deal. And they get 100% of their income versus someone taking 50%. The one agency offered me 50% after I made 300,000 GCI. They'll take, what was it? I think it was a 80-20 split. And then 500,000 GCI, they'll take a 90-10, but I never capped, you know, so I declined and stuff. So, but yeah, just refer it out, guys. And when you refer it out, because I'm the one building this thing in Utah, like Lynn said, I'm here for you. I'll help you. When it comes to educating you, remember, I have a book of business to work with, but I'll still educate you if you want to learn. If you want to partner, if you dabbled in commercial, let's work together. I don't care. You know, let's work it, and I'll send you applicable stuff that applies to warehouse, whatever. And then we'll stay within that lane. I don't want to teach you warehouse, medical, and everything when you're not working at it. But that's how you learn. We'll just go down the lane together, seal the deal, you'll learn, and then maybe another opportunity to come up, we'll look at medical or restaurant or something. So
The more I learn about commercial, the more I want to refer to you, Bill.
I tell you, Jeff, there was a time I was going to say, I'm out. Because of liability, there's a lot of lawsuits. And unfortunately, a lot of lawsuits are brought on by the residential because you say the wrong thing. You can't even pretend. There is no, another thing, you cannot fake it until you make it in commercial. You can't do that. Because if you fake it and you can't answer your questions, they're going to cancel the contract anyway. It's that black and white.
Tell me if this is true too, Bill. I totally agree with what Eric just said. The more I learn about commercial, the more I don't want to be in it. You know, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, right? But here's my observation, and tell me if this is true. In residential, the turnover is huge. The attrition, right? People leave, they get in, they think it's going to be easy. My experience is the boys that get into, it's not just boys. I don't mean to say boys.
Yeah, there's women too.
Club, right? But
It's
when
changing.
Commercial, they're lifers. I mean, they're serious about real estate, unlike the part-timers in residential. You've mentioned several times the guys that have been doing this 40 plus years, right? And they all have that seniority because they don't get in and then get out and say, oh, that was too hard, I'm going to quit, right? Am I right on that?
That is exactly right. I've been trying to recruit some big timers, and their exact thing is, why would I leave? Well, because I'm going to cap you at 80-20, you know, and there to give you tools. That's beautiful, but I've been here for umpteen years. Why would I leave? You know, because they don't want to make change. Especially if y'all know Brandon Fugel, you know that name?
Mm-hmm.
He's Colliers International's chair. He has a History Channel. He owns a Skinwalker Ranch out here, and the guy's a billionaire. He didn't change. They recruited him, and he went over to Colliers International as a chairman. His people that he trains. Now, I brought some people over, Colliers and Marcus and Millichet, but you have to have a robust system, and that's where EXP Commercial delivers. Next Gen delivered, but I was creating something, but the means weren't there yet. You know what I mean? So now I have a stepping stone where it's a full-fledged commercial division to recruit talent. And the reason they don't go is they're comfortable. Why would they go? Especially if you have a title, because a title does residuals and bonuses. So it's not a big turnaround. The only turnaround that happens, to hit on your thing, Jeff, is new people. When you have a new broker come in, and they're called junior brokers, when you have a junior broker come in that never did residential, they're stepping right into the commercial with a mentor. They see like, well, hell, I haven't been paid in 8 months, and then they can't feed their family because they had a different expectation. And then they go into residential, getting a 30 to 45 day close if there's no extensions. But you're right, most of the people stay. And another thing is guys, if you get into commercial real estate, if you decide to do this, and you get tenured in your area and an expert, and you start working your SOI, another reason you would stay is the paychecks, of course, because you're working your ass off, and you get a big paycheck, and you're making, well, the one guy, I think he closed on, I forget his name, he got $500,000, man, paycheck, one check. So when you get that kind of money coming in, you can relax. Why go anywhere? Okay, now relaxing is not let your funnel dry up, but you can do stuff at a slower pace because commercial is slow. That's why I stay. You know, once I start building up the SOI, my funnel is always being filled up. I get some good checks, but I'm very frugal. I put the cash away, then I could stay commercial full time. In the beginning, I could not. I had to do residential.
I love it.
I help everybody.
I don't think you guys on the call are too upset we didn't transition to the overview again. Jordan, if I hope I'm correct in assuming you were on the call last week and saw more of the EXP overview. I hope I'm right on that. If not, we can set up a one-on-one and go deeper in.
I'm onboarded.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, you are onboarded?
I am.
Oh, no.
Jordan, he's new?
I'm new to EXP.
Jordan.
Yes, I am.
Sweet. Well, welcome to the fam. You're in good hands, man. You're in good hands.
Totally excited about that. So Jordan, you're down in Utah County, aren't you?
Saratoga Springs. So if anybody has any referrals down here, no shame in throwing that out.
Awesome.
So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
excited to work with a bunch of studs. You guys all seem awesome. So I'm actually really excited to work with you guys.
Or we're excited. We do have a great culture going here.
Yeah.
The people that are joining us are just amazing. Some people in other brokerages think, well, how can you have any culture in the offices? But it's through little things like this, and eventually we'll be doing these live again. But it's not just this. We talk to each other, right? We do deals together. We collaborate. We brainstorm with each other. I find the collaboration here 100-fold better than it was at my last brokerage.
Absolutely. Jordan, I can tell you and everybody that I've been at 2 different brokerages, C21, KW. I have value out of both, okay? It was a hard transition on my last one. However, this is the best one I'm at, I'm telling you. And I'm staying here because of the values, the way the operations run, also the people I have met. My God, you'd like it just, even in the cartoon world, the avatar world, when I first started doing that, I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, so I started, because I'm 54, I'm like in here messing with this thing, you know, and then, but it's cool. The collaboration that I've had here down from the staff, EXP staff, that I just became staff now, I'm not even 1099. So down to Lynn and Jeff, this has been a deciding factor for me to stay as well, because the relationships I've created. Now they go with me when I leave, you know, because I still, as Jeff, you know, I can go anywhere, still make it work. But here, it's just a big family. It's just been good. And I've been here, let's see, well, January 1st be a year. And I tell you, there's nothing bad. I'm good to go.
It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else on the call, any last comments or questions? Otherwise, I think we're good to wrap it up.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to say welcome to the team, Jordan.
Love it.
Thanks so much, Bill. Excellent job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Got a coffee and a
Thank
cup.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Appreciate you, my
guys.
friend.
Write my number. Write my number down, and anything you need. Let's get rock and rolling.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
See you guys. Enjoy the rest
All
of your
right. See ya.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Later.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Adios.